hit the ground, but I ain't getting any higher.
What's going on, everybody? Thanks for downloading the Voice of Bedlam podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Santoro. We got a great show planned for you guys tonight. Just me and my man, John. John, how you doing tonight?
Doing all right. I finally am getting my voice back. Like, I had a bad sinus infection, and that led to a lot of issues with my
That's disgusting.
breathing. Yeah, that's disgusting. But now I'm getting better, folks. So now I'm on the show, and I'm not sounding like completely like a turd.
You still got like a little puberty.
Yeah, I still got
a little puberty vibe to you.
Yeah, I got like a 12-year-old's voice right now. But speaking of 12-year-olds, they're starting to gather people together now for these football leagues, and why not get yourself out there and supporting your child's team with flair, or have your child go out on the field in flair with top-of-the-line jerseys from BigLeagueShirts.com.
Yeah, now if you guys want to get a custom jersey from BigLeagueShirts.com, you can order in bulk for the whole team or just one for you. Maybe you want to have your son's own jersey customized to wear to the game. You guys can go to BigLeagueShirts.com.
Create a jelly monster.
Go to BigLeagueShirts.com, customize your order. But if you call them at 913-909-9236, that's 913-909-9236, and tell them Bedlam sent you, you'll get $50 off your first order. So make sure you guys get on that at BigLeagueShirts.com.
Go there now.
Who else are we sponsored by this week, John?
Kiani, which is a health and wellness company that is offering pioneering and life-changing results. So you can click the link below and use the promo code PILLSNOMORE as your username and see what Kiani can do for you. Maybe we can suggest the Nitro Extreme, which will give you more energy and help boost your cardiovascular system. So head over there at Kiani, where wellness is simplified.
Yeah, click the link in the description of the video. Click the link there, put in all one word, Pills No More, to sign in and see what Kiani can do for you. And let's get into today's daily breakdown. All right, first up on the docket, Von Miller, more contract talks. Now, according to NFL media insider Mike Garofalo, he reported on Friday that Miller rejected the Broncos' latest proposal. The two sides are expected to continue negotiations through this past weekend. Now, this is a little bit confusing to me because when Von Miller first got issued the tag, I remember him saying he's never, something along the lines of, he's never going to be in a bad mood when he's going to get a check that big, acting like he was okay with it, going to do it, just prove himself one more time. But now, I mean, he's coming out and he's quoted as saying, never really played for the money, hard me to get to do stuff, but it's bigger than 1 year. He said it's a league-wide problem that I feel like I'm in a situation I can help out with. So he's basically saying that he's protesting against the franchise tag as a whole. Now, I can't really blame him for that, John, but at the same time, I mean, so he wasn't in the league when the CBA was negotiated, but this is all part of the CBA. What do you think?
Honestly, there's a lot of money being thrown around in the NBA now, and that is going to cause a ripple effect in the other sports, because it's like, well, I want that money too, because think about those big contracts that baseball players had, but most people with...
And they get fully guaranteed contracts.
Yeah, and, think about people with logical minds, they think about it and they're like, oh, well, he plays so many games, so that's the reason why he gets paid so much, because there's so many games in a baseball season. It's not nearly as much as a football season,
Football is way harder on the body. Yeah. Way harder on the body. And what do those guys do in the bullpen? Isn't there people like always getting in trouble for like favoriting photos on Instagram while the game's on when they're in the dugout playing cards and drinking whiskey. Like, I don't think baseball players do that much.
No, I'm not. I'm not a huge fan of baseball, to be honest. I don't really watch it because I played lacrosse, for like a season and a half, kind of. Yeah, I think it was like more like a season and a quarter because I was a juvenile delinquent and I dropped out. So, but came back and I don't know. It's just a boring game to me. Watching it live by people that know how to play it, it's interesting to watch, but to play it, it's kind of boring. I didn't like it.
Well, let's get back over on the gridiron. And now Mike Garofalo said that one of the things that changed in the latest deal was they were going to give Vaughn a little bit more guaranteed money up front. Now, it doesn't have the exact figure, so it seems like, I'd have to think that would be one of his something that he really wanted to stand on, getting money guaranteed to him. So, but at least the Broncos are starting to tilt a little bit more to where he'd be signing. It seems like this deal is going to get done soon. I don't know. I know John Elway wants to work something out with him.
Well, yeah, he has to lock down, he
was just the MVP of the Super Bowl.
Exactly. You need to lock down your most important piece on that defense. Because without him, you really don't have very much to back that up in the next man up. So so they're gonna have to come out of their pockets a little bit. They didn't want to come out of their pockets
for the
quarterback, but now they're gonna have to come out of their pockets for one of the best linebackers in the game.
Well, let's take a quick second here and tell you guys about the new Generation Sports app. Coming this fall, the most anticipated sports app of 2016. From the creative developers of Madden NFL, NCAA, and NASCAR, this great new app is free to download and is by invitation only, and you guys got to pre-register now. So what this is it's going to be a great new gaming app with some huge players in it. You guys got to get over to newgenerationsportsapp.com and get your invite today. All you got to do is submit your email. And they'll get a hold of you and get you pre-registered. Hit up newgenerationsportsapp.com.
Well, the UFC just sold for $4 billion. So, the Fertitta brothers owned the UFC for just over 15 years. So that's quite some time.
That's really when the sport evolved and became what it is now.
Yeah, and it was a small it
wasn't a household name back then.
It wasn't a small investment, but on their end they got smart. They had Dana White, who, I might, as I make fun of people that were on LeBron's, here I am talking about Dana White, and what he's done for the UFC. And him as the president definitely it makes or breaks the UFC because he's consistent. And not only that, he understands, fights. He understands what's going on, and he understands what a good fight is going to look like.
Now, how do you think this is going to impact the UFC? This is like as big as a change as you could have.
Yeah, he's an ethical fight promoter. Which was really hard to find in the boxing field. So,
yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So, is this bad? What are these people going to take care of it, or is it going to turn into boxing?
Well, UFC is already sanctioned in so many states, and then the Las Vegas Council has a random drug test for these guys, and that's how. John Bones Jones got busted with estrogen blockers. Yeah,
That's what he tested hot for?
Yeah, I was listening to Joe Rogan's podcast, and he had Chael Sonnen on, and he was talking about that, and that's basically after you get off a cycle of steroids so that you can restart your body with creating its own testosterone.
Yeah, testosterone opposed to estrogen. All right, so we got anything else? What's going on at UFC 202?
Well, it's we just finished 200. 202 is
that's the rematch, right? 202.
Yeah,
with McGregor.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be hopefully
Diaz McGregor.
As show-stopping as 200 was. I thought 200 was decent. Watching Misha get beat down like that in the first round was not what I expected. That was about the only fight that I did not correctly pick in 200. See, I'm pretty consistent, guys. I thought Misha was gonna ride it out, but I would have had a perfect card. Man, I need to really start getting into gambling. Hey guys, are you a fan of the Voice of Bedlam and you wanna partner up with your buddy over here and become some legal gambler?
No, we can't do gambling. We can't do gambling.
I like the UFC. I like watching the fights and I understand the discipline. So understanding the camps that they're at and the people that they're sparring against is very important in understanding someone's game plan. And although we've said it many times that once you get punched in the face, your game plan kind of goes out the window. But once you do retain that composure, you gotta go out there and execute your plan. And most times in martial arts, especially the ground game is where people get exploited a lot, and you have to be able to get someone down. So you have to have the shooting power of wrestling, and you also have to have the maneuverability of that jiu-jitsu. It's either that or you're throwing them with a judo throw. See, exactly. I'm talking about all these disciplines that you're going to need, and very few camps, can offer all those disciplines at a professional and, black belt level.
All right. Well, we're gonna move on.
UFC's going to be fine, though.
All right, good.
I think it's going to be fun because, like I said, there's so many things that are watching over it. They're fine. So don't worry about it. But what I am worried about is my dad right now, who's probably like, I knew it was going to happen sometime, but Tim didn't have to, do it this year. But.
All right. Well, you're talking about our last story of the Daily Breakdown. Monday morning was a sad day for basketball fans everywhere with the announcement of Tim Duncan's retirement. Tim Duncan will be remembered as a humble team guy who had played his entire 19-year-long career with the San Antonio Spurs, and that's who our player card is going to be on this week. Before we get into some of his accomplishments, what do you think about Duncan's career, John?
Well, I watched him a little bit. I have some memory of him at Wake Forest. I also know that he's going to be one of the very few breeds of centers that stays with the team, like Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, and who else is staying with the teams?
I consider Jordan. Do you consider Jordan as staying? Like, I don't consider that.
Well, he
wasn't like
it
was
the
different.
Bobcats.
That's what I'm saying. It was different. It was different.
I think
he was a bull his whole career to me.
I think if anything, it reignited that franchise because now they're the Charlotte Hornets again, which was a smart idea because I love those jerseys, especially with the grandmama and the Muggsy Bogues days.
Yo, Muggsy Bogues was a man, though.
Exactly. Like, those jerseys just pop, man. They're so ignorant. They're awesome. Honestly, if James Harden was alpha of the Rockets, I would denounce my fandom and become a Hornets fan just because.
You're always trying to denounce your fandom over something. I think you're a fair weather fan.
A fair weather fan? No, man.
He's like, if this happens, I'm denouncing my fandom. Yo, I would never denounce the New York Football Giants.
The reason why I say it is because if I throw it out there, then it's like, we don't want to lose fans, so we're gonna produce. And the Panthers did it for me last season, so don't do it. Let's do it again, guys. Number 51. This is the one that matters.
All right. Well, you talked about Duncan playing for for playing for Wake Forest. And when he got out of there, he was drafted with the first overall pick in the 97 draft.
Because he was nasty.
Oh, yeah, he absolutely was. I mean, he has 5 Olympic gold medals to go along with 5 NBA championships.
Yes, he does.
5 of them championships, or 3 out of the 5 of those championships, he was the MVP of the finals, that being in 99, 2003, and 2005. Duncan is a 15-time All-Star and 3-time NBA MVP.
Yeah,
you're looking at like the Peyton Manning.
He was sending shots.
Yeah, you're looking at the Peyton Manning, or dare I say the Tom Brady. I'll stick more with the Peyton Manning category. But Peyton Manning changed teams, so I guess that goes a little bit more towards the Brady.
He was a really fundamentally rounded player, to the point that when he was on defense, he was sending your shot to the stands. When he was lining up to shoot, he was sinking it all but net. Like he was nasty. He was a nasty player, and the fact that he had such a long career and still maintained his residency with one team means his loyalty is gold.
Yeah, and he was an all-around player. I mean, he's the Spurs' all-time leading scorer, and he's also an 8-time NBA All-Defense first-teamer. So, I mean, he was putting
both sides of the ball.
He was playing the glass. And he was sinking.
But you have to be in the West, because think about it. When he was playing up against a Shaq and Kobe Lakers. He was playing against, in the beginning, a Yao Ming in Houston. Those are, and he was just big and lanky. But Shaq Diesel will body you up.
Absolutely. I mean, Duncan was the Rookie of the Year in 1998, and he was a 2-time first-team All-American while at Wake Forest, and a 3-time NBAC Defensive Player of the Year, 2-time, going back to college, ACC Player of the Year, and that all led to Wake Forest retiring his 21 jersey. Now, I mean, when you look at the stat line, I mean, of course, he's a Hall of Famer for sure. Yeah. Now, he was usually splitting time between forward and center, but he racked up
the 4 and the 5.
Yeah, he racked up 1,392 points, 10,285 field goals with 33 pointers. For the big man, 33 pointers coming in. He also got 10,255 2-pointers, and but defense is really where he really shines. I mean, he was 6'11", 250, like 6. That's a big man right there. He's got 3,859 offensive rebounds and 11,232 on the defensive side of the ball. Now, I mean, that's when the teams could actually even get the shot off, which seems pretty rare considering Duncan had 2,020 blocks and 1,025 steals. As I said earlier, he's the Spurs' all-time leading scorer with 26,496 points and 4,225 assists. Are those some Hall of Fame numbers or what?
Most definitely,
So, I mean, the Spurs still got Tony Parker. They're still going to... Who else do they got over there? Green, Tony Parker, Green. What do you think? I mean... As far as center goes, they don't really got anybody over there. And, I mean, a guy like Joakim Noah, he went over to the Knicks, kind of being a little traitor over there, leaving the Bulls for the Knicks. That's like sacrilege.
Well, not really. It's not too much of a traitor move, because it's still an East Coast system. He's not transitioning.
But I'm just saying, that's like Giants, Eagles.
Which would be, completely different types of systems that you're going up against. Because in the East, you see a lot of fastball, a lot of breaks,
oh, absolutely,
a lot of screens, a lot of shots off the screens. the only team that is really mixing in a lot of that is Golden State, because a lot of the Western teams have big guys and they're just going to body you all day. All right, they're going to bring the ball down, they're going to move a couple people around, screen it around, boom, feed it to the big guy, he's going to dunk it, and you're going to be posterized for next year's tops player card.
Now, I mean, they also got LaMarcus Aldridge, so I mean, the Spurs, they are a phenomenal team. I'm sure they'll be fine. They are going to feel the loss.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
But I mean, the Spurs are definitely, they're still they still have to be a contender, even though they play in the West.
I could see him being a coach for the team within like 2 years.
Pull a Jason Kidd. Is he going to throw the cup on the court? Going to throw the cup on the floor like Kidd did in his first game? You remember that?
I don't
with the
know.
Nets?
Yeah,
when he was coaching.
Well, I could see
he got out of there quick.
I can see him taking a year or two off and then getting into a coaching gig. I could see it. Because he was very knowledgeable of the game, and he understood where he needed to, how he needed to play in games that mattered, because all those championships that he earned weren't because they didn't understand his job, but not only that, he understood the team ball, and that's coming from a UNC fan that had to watch him play in the ACC. So, I guess take that as for what, but I guess that's out of respect to my dad, because he's a Spurs fan.
All right. Well, you guys can read my article saying goodbye to Tim Duncan up at voiceofbedlam.com. John will have his new UFC post up tomorrow. Go check that out. I mean, we're going to get into the article spotlight here in a minute, which you guys can also find up at the site voiceofbedlam.com. I mean, the site just got a nice little facelift. If you ain't been over there, go out, check it out. We got some great content. Got a couple new writers. We're going to have a couple more soon. So make sure you guys keep checking out voiceofbedlam.com. Also hit up our Facebook at facebook.com/VOB pod, like Voice of Bedlam podcast /VOB pod. I mean, you can get us on Twitter at Andrew Bedlam. What's your Twitter handle, Jess? John.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Jess is my wife.
Yep, I got you. It's at BADSJONLITTLE.
All right, now speaking of my wife, you can get a hold of Miss Rude Girl Jessica at Rude Girl Jessica, who also contributes to the site and is on the podcast every now and then.
It's been a while since she's graced her presence, but she's got important work to do. All right, and
mommy of two.
Yeah, exactly. So So shout out to Jess for holding it down while we produce this wonderful content for all of you. So thank you.
All right, with that, we're going to get into this week's article spotlight. Article by yours truly, Matt.
You just love the spotlight yourself.
Yes, I do. Matt Beleskey trades in his hockey stick for some chopsticks. All right. So in the article, basically, I go to tell you, similar to what the NFL's doing, the NHL is trying to break in to the national market. You know what I mean? International market.
Okay.
And the Bruins are they're trying to do it just like the NFL, and they got their sights set on Asia. So now yesterday, July 11th, that would be Monday, July 11th.
Yes.
Left wing and Beleskey and David
Pasternak.
Yeah, not sure on that one.
That's my guess. Pasternak. It's Pastrnak. So what would you say?
Well, they went out to China. They're going to the Far East to try and get Asia's hockey pulse beating. Now, from July 11th to the 23rd.
Not a bad idea, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, they've been doing things like this in the past a little bit, but from the 11th to the 23rd, the two forwards will be touring Beijing and Shanghai, hosting several youth clinics. Beleskey has teamed up with alumni Andrew Raycroft and Bob Sweeney, along with the Bruins youth hockey development team. So they're going to see if they can really get, these kids trained, skilled, and really ready to compete. I mean, this isn't the first time they've done something like this. They had about 150, there's going to be 100. They're expected to tutor basically 150 kids this year. But last year they hosted 22 Chinese youth hockey players from the Beijing Hockey Association in February, and they were coaching those kids up to get ready to play in a New England Hockey League. So that's
pretty dope.
Yeah, so they've been working with Asia a little bit. They're really trying to get things rolling.
Well, because if anything, I see it as rediverted aggression. Because for some reason we need to release some negative energy, and what better way to do it than something productive like a sport. You redivert your aggression into something that you have to work together with other people to do in order to accomplish a goal, which it's not easy to get a goal in hockey. Hockey's one of those sports that a lot of people don't really get into because it's hard to follow. But
we're supposed to be getting a hockey writer soon.
Yeah, I'm working. We worked on it. Believe it or not, I got some shocking news, and this is a new segment called "What the Heck."
What is this, Sean?
This guy over here went to a football game. He went to a football game. He went to see football.
I was looking to recruit people to write for the Voice of Bedlam.
Yeah. Yep. But you watched a football game.
No, I had a lot of fun at the game. I mean, it was at what was that? Lehigh. What is that? Stabler or whatever.
Yeah, Lehigh University.
I mean, it's a beautiful setup they got there. I've seen plenty of sporting events there. I mean, you and me went to go see the Valley Dogs there when we were in
the arena
junior high.
Yeah.
When we were in junior high, and then I've seen a couple of arena games there. I had a lot of fun. I'll go to any sporting event. I just like the competition. I don't care if it's semi-pro. I mean, this was what was this? USS or USL?
Yeah, United States Soccer League or something.
I think it's just United Soccer League.
United Soccer League. Yeah. Well, they're basically, I think if I'm not mistaken, they're like a Division 3 for the Philadelphia Union. Because that's why their colors are pretty similar. All
right, but getting back to Beleskey, they are going on a business trip, you know what I mean? They're there for a purpose, but that's not going to stop these guys from hitting up all the local sites. They're saying that they're going to hit up the Great Wall, and they're going to check out the Forbidden City. Now, that's kind of cool. The Forbidden City, that was for the Ming Dynasty.
Yeah.
And, it's just really cool. I've seen pictures of it. That was like a really, bad empire of the time. So they'll be doing all types of stuff like that, and they're also, it seems like Beleskey is really into some cuisine, quoted as saying, "I'm a huge food guy when I travel. I've obviously been reading up on everything, the street food, and I think Shanghai's famous for these soup dumplings that are supposed to be great. I'm just looking forward to that. I love going to different places and trying different cuisines. I think this is going to be a whole new world of it." It's also reported that the whole group of them, they're just going out.
Yeah.
And that's a nice little business perk right there. You want to have Voice of Bedlam send you to China, check out the culture, teach people about sports?
Yeah, why not? I don't care. I love.
You just have to pay your own way and your own expenses.
Then no.
I can hook you up with some business cards.
Then no.
All right, but getting back to the ice, Beleskey had 15 goals last year, 37 points in the 80-game season. So, it seems fitting that the Bruins are really trying to get things rolling over there, having been part of the original six. They were the third American hockey team established in
1924
establishment.
Exactly. So, one of the original six, as you eloquently said, reaching out to to the other countries to get involved with a sport that, you know, really doesn't have the attention of a lot of people. And, you know, I like watching hockey. I can honestly say I do not follow it as much as I would like to.
It's because it's such a long season, like baseball. It's like it gets interesting when the playoffs happen.
Yeah, and the Devils, you know, they haven't been in the playoffs for a while.
All right. Well, that's up at voiceofbedlam.com if you guys want to check
you said
that
the
out.
Rangers, right? You're a Rangers guy?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's right.
Yeah, I'm all blue.
All blue.
All blue, all the way around.
Yeah.
Yankees, Rangers, Giants.
Even though you're from Jersey, like you won't even represent Jersey's team.
Well, I did. I liked the
only
Nets.
team.
I liked the Nets.
The
That's
Nets
what I liked.
then, and they moved to Brooklyn.
Yeah, I know. That was only like 3 years ago, though, or something.
Yeah, it's like, yo, bring them back.
Yeah, I know.
Bring them to
I do
North.
like, I mean, if you go back, you can hear Bedlam's Big 10 best unis of all time. I did put the Brooklyn Nets on there. I mean, I'd like it if they came back to Jersey and kept that black and white going on, though. How about that? Making the playoffs as soon as they get there. They can't do squat for Jersey ever. They moved to Brooklyn and go to the playoffs that year. That was when Garnett was there, too.
Yeah.
They had a lot of Celtics there. I think they had Paul Pierce over there.
Yeah, they picked up a lot of those guys. So, honestly, it stinks. So, you know, that's what I'm saying, man. Jersey only has one professional team. One.
The Devils.
And that's it.
Well, it's not like I'm a diehard hockey fan. I mean, I enjoy watching some playoff hockey, but I mean, it's not football.
I have to represent my birth state, you know, in some way. So, but the fact is that there's only one team. So I was like, well, it made it easy for hockey.
No, I mean, especially like I started watching hockey when like Gretzky came over from the Kings to the Rangers. Like I was a Rangers fan. Like I like the Rangers.
Yeah, I can see why that.
But I mean, all right, let's wrap up the article spotlight, and I mean, we can move on to the 4-minute hut.
4-minute hut.
The what?
4-minute hut.
All right, I feel a lack of energy in this show. It's because there's no football, dude.
I know, it's pretty depressing.
I mean, we have a segment titled "The 4-Minute Hut," and it's about the MLB All-Star break.
Yeah, you know what? We'll go. You know, for this time, 7-inning stretch.
The what?
7-inning stretch.
All right. I mean, the 4-minute hut isn't always going to be about football, but I mean, I don't mean to trash the Midseason Classic. You guys can go check out a great post by Thomas Ambersico up at voiceofbedlam.com. He's got all the starters, all the pitchers in there, got little excerpts about all the managers. But tonight, we're going to make the 4-minute hut about the MLB All-Star break. Going to get into some of the history, a little bit of what's going on now.
I like the All-Star break, though. I really
A lot of people do. Everybody claims to like it more than the Pro Bowl and hate the Pro Bowl, but the Pro Bowl gets higher ratings. And I don't know.
That's because it's football.
Absolutely.
But honestly, though, the challenges, the home run derby and stuff.
Yeah, I wish they could do a skills challenge in the NFL.
Yeah, well, they used to. They used to do the quarterback club, and that was awesome.
I remember something like with pass catching too. I remember seeing like in the Michael Irvin days and stuff like that, like them like doing like little like catching out a jugs machine and stuff like that. I don't know why they can't do that. You know, have Beckham out there doing backflips.
Maybe it's in the player agreement. I don't know, or maybe you know they just.
Yeah, you're probably right with that. I put money on that you're right with that.
Or maybe they just didn't think that it would be fun anymore. Although
the injury concerns also.
You know what they should also bring back from our era? The Rockin' Jock.
What is that? I don't remember.
MTV used to run the Rockin' Jock. It was like Bill Bellamy days and things like that. And they would get the VJs and musicians to play softball against professionals.
Oh, I remember that.
Stuff.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then they would play basketball and things like that.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was pretty good. They should bring that back.
All right, but let's get into the 2016 MLB All-Star break.
And Giancarlo Stanton won the MLB Home Run Derby, defending champion Todd Frazier versus the Sultan of StatCast, Giancarlo Stanton. Well, according to Steve Gardner of USA Today Sports, in the end, Stanton's raw power trumped Frazier's Derby's experience as the Miami Marlins slugger prevailed with relative ease, winning 20-13.
Now, Stanton set the bar high in the final round with 11 of his home runs surpassing the 440-foot mark. Over the Derby's 3 rounds, he totaled 61 homers, with 64% of them, which would come out to 39, traveling over 440 feet. Now, he was quoted as saying, "I knew I could do it endurance-wise. It was just if my swing was going to fall apart a little bit. Luckily, my bat path stayed where it needed to." End quote. Now, as far as the Midseason Classic goes, Corey Kluber, the Indians' right-hander in 2014 Cy Young Award winner, the Cy Young given to the best pitcher in baseball.
Yep.
He's quoted as saying, "There's a lot of really young, really good players right now." He said this at the All-Star Media Day on Monday. He is also quoted as saying, "That's a good thing for the game. It's only going to be better for baseball to have these guys who are 22, 23 years old, as good as they are right now. They're only going to get better, and it's going to be great for the game."
Well, yeah, that's because there's so many farm teams, and
Yeah.
a lot of franchises are really trying to develop the game and, hopefully find, that diamond in the rough and bring them up to the major leagues and already be ready to play at a high level. So, so I can see where that, when you invest into things like that, you tend to find the talent. The NBA does it with the Summer League. So a lot of the young guys that are trying to get into the league, they're playing in the Summer League. And then there's also the Development League. The Development League is basically people that could be called up to the NBA if roster needs are needed.
And now look at this, right? Going on to say how many young players there are. Now there is 33 players on the AL and the NL, okay? Now that's a total of 66 people. Out of those 66 people, 28 of them are playing in their first All-Star game. So 28 of them are rookies to the game. And, I mean, that's almost half. 33 would be
awesome.
half.
That just means that the game, the talent, the younger talent is emerging a lot sooner than they expected.
Now, as always, they got, the managers from the teams who were in the World Series last year as the managers for the team. So representing the AL team is Ned Yost, a former Major League Baseball catcher, and he is currently the manager of the Kansas City Royals. As for the manager representing the NL, Terry Collins is the Mets manager, of course, and I believe he was a shortstop for one of the minor league teams. Yeah, shortstop. He was a shortstop for a minor league team. Now, as I said, the roster size is now 33, but it used to be different. We're going to get into a little bit of the history of the Midseason Classic. The All-Star Game roster size was originally 18 men in 1933. Then the next year they changed it to 20, and then they changed it to 25 in 1939, and it stayed that way until 1982, where they increased it to 30. Now, on July 1st of 2009, that's when it reached 33 players, which is its current format.
Okay.
33 players on each team. See, and then the way the players get in, I like the way the MLB gets the players in. So let's start back in the past, though. In 1933 and 34, the fans selected the 18 starters for the game, and the managers chose the rest of the other two players. From 35 to 44, and again in 46, the manager of each All-Star squad selected the entire team. So basically, he got to build his own team like he was a GM. In 1945, there wasn't any All-Star game at all because of World War II, and they were afraid there were travel concerns and everything. Get into the whole, there's no crying in baseball. Their own. All right, but in 1947, the fans were once again given the opportunity to vote 8 starting position players. But in 57, fans from the Cincinnati Reds stuffed the ballot box and elected a Red to every position except first base. So they rigged it. But yo, I don't know who the first baseman was at the time, but could you imagine being that dude and being like, yo, why didn't they put my name in there? Like, they got the whole roster in there except one dude. Imagine if that dude's you. Even though it is cheating, like, really? I can't cheat my way in?
Wow. I'd be mad. I'd be mad as cheese.
I mean, what did they think? That was going to make it, like, inconspicuous if they made one player not a Red?
The whole team got voted in except for him.
All right, so
you know it's not rigged.
So Commissioner Ford Frick, stepped in and removed the Reds from the lineup.
Two of them.
Two of the Reds from the lineup. Wow, so they only added 2 names? Wow.
They only removed 2 names of the of the 8.
Yeah, exactly. So I would think that meant that maybe the other 6 were there legitimately. Wouldn't you think that implies that?
So then, I'm sorry, 6. Yeah, damn. But that's still a lot of representation.
That's what I'm saying, exactly.
6 people. Yeah. As I eloquently said to you guys before, I don't really watch baseball, but I know how many people are supposed to be on the field, and to have 6 out of 9, that's 3 less than, other positions to fill in. That's kind of crazy. You could put the entire Reds team in the infield and have 3 substitute outfielders, and it just looks ridiculous.
All right, so since 1957, when the Cincinnati Reds thing went down, that's when the players and coaches and managers, they were all given sole authority to elect who was playing where. But I don't understand. It says that they, according to Wikipedia, that they gave it. The players also had say in it. So what, like the Pro Bowl, like how Odell Beckham was like an assistant coach? Is that what they're saying? Because how could a player, that must mean what they mean, because how could a player pick their own team? But I guess that's probably how they did it. I mean, that's fun. It's an all-star game. But now, ever since 2002, it's all done by the fans, which I think is the best way and most fun. I mean,
they're the ones watching the game.
Yeah, exactly.
They're
it's
the
a
ones
joke.
paying for the tickets.
It's more traditional in baseball. It's a little bit, I mean, the home run derby is a lot of fun. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, they're throwing the ball like 60 miles an hour. You know what I mean? If that.
Yeah.
But like, it's still fun just to see how many they can rocket them, and like if their swing's gonna go out, if they got the endurance, if they can handle it. You know what I mean? You're talking a lot of pitches. You're in that box for a long time, and baseball players don't usually do all that much.
As we spoke, the quarterback challenge, is missing out of the NFL, and that is just going to show because we're talking about the home run derby, guys bombing the ball, when a quarterback can be throwing at a moving target, or better yet, designated wide receivers to catch the ball. But then again, you wouldn't have the accuracy, I guess.
I'm just saying, at the Pro Bowl, they should just make it like the Combine again. Make them run the 40. Make them do the high jump.
Do you remember the skills challenge where you had to they had to do
that's what I was talking about before.
Like
running through the tires.
Like running through the tire. You got to throw it through the tires.
I remember,
and then you move on to the next station.
Yeah, I remember Michael Irvin doing that, like that time period.
Yeah,
that's what I was saying before. Yeah.
So I was about to say Troy Aikman, Dan Marino.
Yeah, like the late '80s, early '90s.
Yeah,
through like the Troy Aikman era.
Because the All-Star game in hockey is awesome. They have a skills challenge. It's awesome. I love that. I love that All-Star game. Baseball, you got the home run derby, and not only that, you got the yeah, the game is actually pretty interesting because they actually rotate.
Well, it's
players
American
around.
League versus National League. The
a nice
rosters
rotation.
are huge. You guys can go over to Tom Ambersico's article on voiceofbedlam.com right up at the top of the page, and he's got the rosters of both teams, the starters, the reserves, the pitchers. Really detailed, really good article. Make sure you guys go over to voiceofbedlam.com and check it out.
You know what's the best All-Star weekend?
Basketball.
Definitely.
They got costumes and dunk contests and 3-point contests.
Exactly.
The rookie showcase. Like, it's I gotta admit, yeah. I mean, I remember Dwight Howard like coming out as Superman and everything. You know, Dirk Nowitzki dunking over cars. Like, it was,
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, that right there is...
I know, it was Blake
having
Griffin.
fun.
Blake Griffin was
jumped
dunking over the
did-
car.
I
Yeah.
think it was like Kia.
Yeah, something like that. Which is a small car, but still.
Yeah, I'm not... You won't catch me in a Kia.
But I don't know. I guess
Unless you're going to throw me a Kia, you know, and prove me wrong, because maybe I'll try your product out and love it.
I think he also dunked out of the sunroof or something, too. I think
so.
he did that. Like, that was just funny. I mean, but I don't know. I mean, I guess you want to wrap up tonight's show?
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. You know, it seems like the lull of football,
The NFL offseason?
Yeah, it's like
I miss football.
I miss football so much. I do. Like, I want to start thinking about like my fantasy team and stuff.
Well, all right. We have a couple of announcements to make. Now,
A couple?
First of all, I can't believe I almost forgot to leave this stuff out of the show. First of all, our Voice of Bedlam League, Bedlam's Fantasy, will be sponsored. We're working out the details, but we're going to have a cool sponsor. We're going to have some trophies. We're going to have a big event for everything. So make sure you guys stick around for that. And our next show on Thursday, it will be myself, John, I believe both Sean and Colin. I don't think Sam will be on, but we're going to have one of the guys from the Fantasy Footballers come on as a guest. We're going to have them on for quite a while, actually. We're going to make it our fantasy special. We're also going to reveal the sponsor of the league and talk to you guys about some of the prizes you can win. If you guys want to jump on board with that, email me at staff@voiceofbedlam.com. We got about 3 spots remaining, so email me quick, staff@voiceofbedlam.com. It's a PPR league. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a great trophy, so you guys make sure you go over to voiceofbedlam.com and check out all the details.
Most definitely.
All right, so with that, we're going to close the show up once again with Rank 77. You guys can find their new album online, Getting Blasted, split with the Parasitic. Make sure you check it out. Awesome album. We were at John wasn't there. John missed out on it. We were at the record party, I think, last weekend or 2 weekends ago. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Me, Sean, Justin, we all went down, had a good time.
Just starting to get my voice back.
All right, so make sure you guys check them out. Make sure you check out voiceofbedlam.com. Check out all the sponsors. And remember, if you want to host your own podcast, just like the best podcast in the world, the Voice of Bedlam podcast, you guys can go over to podbean.com/r/bedlam and get a free month of unlimited bandwidth. But you got to use our coupon code. All right, so remember, check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/VOBpod. For Devil John, I'm Andrew Bedlam, and we're getting the hell out of here.